What up? What up? What up?
I want to. I want to. I want to.
We be bopping.
I want to. I want to. Yeah.
You gonna freestyle? No, you ain't got nothing.
I don't got nothing else. You
ain't got nothing.
That's all I can do.
You ain't got nothing. Welcome to Sunday Night Service. Religiously Incorrect Podcast.
I am
back.
Pastor Jeff.
I'm Pastor Todd.
We are back.
We're back. We took a week off.
I
was down in Columbus doing my thing with my good friend, Pastor. I call him Uncle Troy.
You was Uncle down there Troy. Preaching to those 3 million folk down
Preaching
there.
to them. Hey, man, I got a chance to see Dad Troy, who we call the Right Reverend Dr. Leon Troy, the former pastor of Second Baptist Church, 1965 to 1977. He's 96 years old and still shouting in the aisle.
See, that's what makes Todd so special. He can name dates and everything.
Oh, man.
I'm like, yeah, he the former pastor. He was here one of those years.
He was here one of these years.
A couple of those years.
His face is on the wall. That's all you need to know.
What's happening? Is brought to you. Our show is brought to you, first of all, by Mike Phillips. Hey.
Phillips Care Training.
Phillips Care Training out in Cortland, Ohio. He's ready. He waiting for all y'all big stomach.
Come on, fatties.
All y'all big stomach, skinny people who can look through the keyhole with both eyes, hula hoop with the equator.
We're ready. He'll get you in shape.
He gonna get you in shape. Listen, ain't he doing the training for the kids for the basketball?
Yeah, he's doing some of the basketball programs.
He got my son out there. My son said he couldn't get the ball behind his back. I said, man, you don't be making me look bad. You're a Stanford boy.
Right.
Y'all know how I hoop.
Shout out to Mike
Steph
Phillips.
Curry in the clutch.
Okay. All right. Jeff had that after church drink. Jeff had that after church sip. Well, shout out to Mike Phillips at High Street Fitness for sponsoring and presenting this program, and the Phillips Care family of businesses, which you'll hear about later. But why don't y'all do me a favor? Tap in, like, share, comment, say hey.
Tag somebody.
All you preachers that be lurking on our podcast and not commenting, we see you. We
know you here.
Superintendents.
Y'all ain't
District elders.
We got the new update. We can tell all y'all who are here.
Archbishops. We see y'all. Pope. Hey, good evening, Reverend Robinson. Reverend Robinson's wife did a great job. Reverend Carla, who was one of our previous guests, did a phenomenal job in my absence last week. We really appreciate you guys. Did a great job. What's up, Sister Dion? Good to see you. Hey, I want everybody that knows and loves Ryan Gilchrist and the Gilchrist brothers. I want them to get on here. Because it's about to be fun today.
That's right. We got a virtual barbershop.
We got virtual barbershop going on. We all can get faded up online. It's gonna be nice.
Looking rough. I need it, baby. You know what I mean? I'm out here.
He got to bring out.
I don't know what he can do with this.
Yeah, he can bring that.
It's looking good on the TV.
He can bring that paint can out for you. He can bring that.
Hey, that's the Kojic way.
He bring that. Bring that Dollar General joint out.
Yes, sir. That stuff be making your having your whole collar all black.
Listen, whole collar black. Listen, it's election season, Pastor Jeff.
Oh man, it's election
midterms.
Yes, sir.
And you know what? Midterms have become like the main event.
Yeah.
They become like the main event. You know why? Because Trumpism is alive and well.
Yes, it is.
Trumpism is alive and well. It is a straight up, no holds barred battle. Right
crazy.
Now.
And it's so crazy because you got some crazy runs out here, man.
Oh, we got election deniers. We got people. So what sense? Oh, are we back? Okay, thanks a lot, producer. So
just top notch.
What sense does it make to deny the legitimacy of elections and the election system and then run for office under the same system that you say is corrupt?
It makes no sense at all. But I mean, it's a way to get your name in the spotlight. It's a way to get votes. It's a way for people to say, you know what, they trying to deny him a vote, so I'm going to vote. It's baiting. It's baiting. It's reverse psychology and baiting. And you know what? We live in the era where entertainment went through this, sports is going through this, has gone through this, and now politics is going through this, where really it's all about getting attention at any cost. That's what I feel. Like really the wilder, and you know what? I'm not blaming any one side because there's liberal, conservative, doesn't matter. It feels like our man Big L said it before we went live. There is no middle ground. Right.
and there's no taste for any middle ground, you have to say the most outrageous stuff possible.
Man, they trying to kill my man Peterson, man. They
oh man, we praying for Minister Vinny. We're officially
I'm like, do you know that man got a wife and
got a wife and kids? You know he owns guns. How about that?
Right. Right. Maybe y'all don't know his dad.
Right. Because I'm still scared of Big Vince.
I ain't asked him to preach yet. I'm scared.
I mean, we be joking, but I be like, he like 2 seconds from swinging on me, like right now. Like right now, he'll swing on me. But no, it's ugly. And
it is.
So we're talking about our good friend, Minister Vinny Peterson,
yes.
who is running for a state rep right in our own area. And here's the crazy thing. The brother has worked in law enforcement. We fell out once arguing about Black Lives Matter and police brutality.
Yeah.
You know, because he's worked in law enforcement, father worked in law enforcement, patrol, what they call a parole office and all of that. And he is very much, very measured, balanced, respectful, dignified, and passionate. The young man, I met him. Nick, I met the young man who was running against him. But then the state GOP puts these flyers out that says Peterson is radical and hateful.
Wow.
And that he, doesn't support law enforcement. And I'm like, dude, this is like the last person in the world. I literally put on Facebook, if you had made this ad about me, you would be 100% correct. If you had put my picture on this postcard and said he's radical and hateful, I would have said, well, God ain't through with me yet. But Vinny is like the most measured dude I ever met, and he's mature. And again, I love the Nick dude, but I messaged and tagged dude to say, yo, I have respect for you when I met you. You need to repudiate this. Right. And of course, he's not going to because there's a red meat out there to say, literally call somebody hateful, call people names. Like that's the approach to politics now.
Well, real quick, what do you think about them pulling all their funds from Ryan?
Well, because Ohio's not in play though.
They are no longer a swing state. If you don't know, we are no longer.
Ohio's not a swing state. We're red.
We are red.
We're red as a delicious apple.
Delicious.
We're red, man, and he's got a nice war chest and he spent his money and put his message out there. And obviously you want that attention, but it doesn't just affect, Tim Ryan. It affects organizations like our Black organizations that do get out the vote, because once they think your state is a lost cause, they'll stop sending money to those organizations that were doing the voter mobilization in Black neighborhoods, because what's the point?
Right.
They'd rather send that money towards more contentious, they call them purple states, purple states that go either way. So, okay, here's the one thing I do like about any election season though. I love the commercials.
Oh yeah,
I love the commercials. Oh, yeah. You can't find better skits on like SNL. Just like literally everybody is the devil.
The Herschel Walker.
Herschel Walker is a whole other story.
You don't even need a skit. He just a skit himself. When he pulled out that
badge. When he pulled out that badge that literally I bought Ethan for Christmas with his Little Tykes police uniform. Ethan has. I'm gonna have Ethan put a picture of it and say, "Hey Herschel, I have the same badge."
Am I a police officer?
I work in law enforcement. Right. Right. Yeah. Great. But really the ads. Everybody is evil. They always like shine the sunlight on the candidate they like. And then when they switch over to the other candidate, he's like in the dungeon and the demon, but Tim Ryan is going to take your Social Security. And I just love it because
what else I love?
It's entertaining.
What else I also love is the get out to vote people who be having fried chicken.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. That's some of the best fried chicken.
Listen, I'll be wanting to commit election fraud because when they be offering these free meals every time you go vote, I got to figure out a way to do this without getting arrested because I want a free sandwich.
Hey, man.
I want a free sandwich. I want to do it. But the midterms are important. It's important that you vote.
Please
I'm not even trying to be unbiased anymore. Here's what I say. Just vote for people who are sensible and trying to actually propose real policies.
Absolutely.
Because all this stuff about attacks and stuff. And I'll be honest, Jeff, here's my take, and this will be my final line on this. I think if there wasn't so much political ugliness, especially the Trumpism, I believe that the lines would be far more blurred even though they already are somewhat in some segments between Democrat and Republican loyalties that have existed for decades, I think the lines would be more blurred. There'd be more crossover, and perhaps that would give us more power to hold different parties and politicians accountable. Absolutely. But as long as we're on this red meat, Confederate flag, one person made a comment. It used to be you tried your hardest not to appear or say anything racist. Now you go out of your way to say something racist just to let people know where you stand. Because there's some people that just want to hear that.
Has anybody came to your church yet?
I was actually going to invite somebody to my church, but it's really just because I want money from them. So, I'm not even trying to.
It's religiously incorrect.
I'm not trying to. Listen. They get what they want out of us. Black people need to stop beating around the bush and acting like we're going to pray for you and we want the Lord's will to be done. No, I want you to bring some money to our community. That's what I want.
Amen.
Come in here and make your speech. And if you get elected, you need to write it. It's going to be personally. I'm not looking for a kickback, but I'm looking for you to genuinely
invest in the community.
Because you know what? Right. That's what voting is, though.
Right.
You get in and you get what they want. That's what voting is. Absolutely. And every other demographic gets that, but we're too holy to want. We don't want to look like grifters or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, every other subgroup is getting what they want out of the people that they're electing.
Watch this. Watch this, Elder Carter. While you watch it, we've learned. This is why you ought to invest in us.
This is why you ought to invest in us.
You ought to invest in us.
You ought to invest in us.
Like she said, she had already said.
There are no permanent allies or enemies, only permanent interests.
Come on.
That's it. There's no permanent allies or enemies.
We're preaching
only permanent interests. And again, the only thing stopping that from being a crossover more for people like me is the ugliness that seems to come from certain segments. Like if you can lay that ugliness down, I think a lot more could honestly be done. And I'll be honest, the other side of which I don't think it's the same kind of ugliness, but I think it's stupidity. Like the super liberal Democratic screaming all the time, like just everything trying to be canceled and all that. That's not helpful either. Because you looked at a puppy wrong, yada yada yada. That's a waste of time.
I'll go back to what we said the other day. It's giving.
It's giving pathetic. That's what it's giving.
It's giving.
All right, y'all. We want to move in to our guest, but before we get there, y'all know what time it is. It's time for the meme of the week.
Meme of the week. Meme of the week.
Welcome to Religiously Incorrect, ladies and gentlemen.
Meme of the week. Meme of the week.
Thank you. Send us your memes of the week.
These are all jokes. We are just playing.
All right, what we got? God wants spiritual fruit, not religious nuts.
No. Well, we just got done talking about.
We just got done talking about political nuts.
Half these religious nuts.
Well, this could be offensive at this point because now they be saying, "Who you calling a fruit?"
Right.
Now we're canceled. Now we're canceled.
It's over.
But okay, can I be honest? Can we be honest? I think like 70% of Christians are religious nuts in one way or another. We're just imbalanced inherently.
Yeah, I think you have to be in some way or fashion. You got to be.
Well, you got to be a little something special to be devout. But church has an attraction for weird people. Like they were going to give this energy to somebody, and they decided to give it to Jesus, and that's why they're running around with a tambourine with 10-foot streamers connected to it,
flagging on the front row,
flagging on the front, flagging on the. You brought your own flags and congos to church,
walking on the pews, about to fall.
Because I have to think to myself, where would these people be if they weren't in church? What would they be doing with their lives? Man. Speaking of which, I went to the Mary J. Blige concert on Wednesday. I told the church it was Mahalia Jackson concert, and most of them didn't get it. But I went to a Mary J. Blige concert on Wednesday, and somebody brought a glow-in-the-dark tambourine.
Say they didn't do it.
I said, just go back to church, mother.
Please.
Just go back to convocation. Please. This is not for you.
Mary J. should have brought her up on stage.
Well, she got up there and preached. She got the Holy Ghost.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about no good Negroes and how we're all a bunch of dirtbags and dogs. And my wife is about to leave me.
Yes.
Right. My wife. I was looking up divorce lawyers. By the third voice of "I'm going down," I was looking for the divorce. Like we came here in love. By the time we got halfway through, all the men was at the concession stands getting some nachos.
Hey, on the way home, he was like, I'm looking for some real love.
Right. What's the 411? Yeah, man. Yeah, we need more spiritual food, but that's the truth, man. It's a lot of crazies, man. Oh, yeah. It's a lot of crazies out there. Oh, yeah. You know, one day we're gonna talk about Christian crazies. Oh my God. We'll have a whole show. And you tell us your best story about Christian crazies.
I can't.
Well, yeah, Jeff is trying to keep his job. He can't talk about our Christian crazy. You mean in the balcony? All right, we want to thank our sponsors. We want to thank our sponsors from the Phillips Care family of businesses, Phillips Care Cleaning Service. They do residential, commercial cleaning. I'm serious. If it involves a building, they can do it. Repair, cleaning, carpet, deep cleaning, floor cleaning, moving in, moving out. They can get folk to fix your gutters, your furnace, just about everything. I call them for everything. I only pay them sometime. But Phillips Care Cleaning Service is an excellent vendor serving the tri-state area. And while you're at it, I spent like 5 hours picking up leaves the other day. I should have called Phillips Care Lawn Services. They could have knocked it out for me, but I'm cheap and I have 2 boys. So it's called slave labor. So call my man Fernando if you can't do like me. Phillips Care LLC. They take care of spring, fall cleanup, mowing, weekly, bi-weekly, leaf removal, trimming, edging, all that stuff. Call them at 219-7916. Tell them Religiously Incorrect sent you. You will not get a discount. As a matter of fact, he'll probably charge you more to make up for what I didn't pay last year. But he'll take good care of you. So we thank our sponsors. So here's what our show is called today. Hey, everybody watching. Pittsburgh's on the field. Wonderful, Sister Janet. Thank you so much. Y'all need to post scores only when we're winning. Only when we're winning. Because if you post a losing score, I'm flipping this table over. That's just the way it goes. But today's show is called Pastor Jeff.
Obviously, they ain't posting.
Right, they ain't posting. We ain't winning. The Barbershop.
The Barbershop.
The Black Man's Country Club. The Barbershop. And I've got 2 of my favorite people from one of my favorite barbershops. And I've been through a few. We started with the Brown brothers when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. Actually, we started with Mr. Willoughby on 4th Street.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Willoughby.
Mr. Willoughby on 4th Street, the infamous Mr. Willoughby on 4th Street, who only knew one haircut. And that was the only haircut you were going to get. And that's just the way it is.
I want to fade. Nope.
Then the Brown brothers, they gave us a CBS swoop. We used to call it the CBS swoop. And then I started hitting up the Gentleman's Lounge downtown with Mike and Lou. Remember Mike and Lou? They moved around a couple times doing the thing. Then I found Ryan's Chair in Youngstown. And my life has never been the same. Since I've been. I'm actually on Ryan's. My life has never been the same. I feel like Tremaine Hawkins, a change has come over me since I sat in that chair. I'm currently in Ryan's Chair detox right now. But we have as a guest one of the legendary barbers of the Mahoning Valley and beyond. I mean, he's nationally renowned, to be honest. I mean, we've become friends and we clown a lot. And I stopped by the shop still, and just to hear him throw like 9,000 controversial subjects at me in 2 seconds. But I mean, it's the shop for the preachers, the saints, the ain'ts. You know what I mean? The gospel, the ghetto, everybody comes through Ryan's Chair. You can go in there and get prayed for and cussed out at the same time. At the same time. One of the bishops will pray for me and then Nicole cuss me out. You know, it's great. This is great. You know, to be honest, you know, it's wonderful. But we have our guest, and he didn't come alone. He brought his brother because he thought we were going to gang up on him. So Ryan takes care of the heads. Kyle takes care of the business, the front desk. I want you to welcome Ryan and Kyle Gilchrist of Ryan's Chair Barbershop. Come on, give it up, everybody, for Ryan.
Thank you, guys. Hey, I thank you all so much. You all are better than SNL on the Weekend Update.
Are we doing all right?
We're doing all right. That's cool.
You're doing good.
Tell Larry we need
Thank you for having us.
Tell your boy Larry we need a segment then.
Right.
You don't want that.
Oh man, yeah, I don't want that. I don't want that, man. You have me on there with the bougie bishop, so I don't need them problems.
Right. I love you. I love what you all are doing.
Oh man, we love it. We love doing it. We love doing it. So Ryan, give us the 45-second story of Ryan's Chair and how you got into barbering and how you and Kyle work together, and your wife. I know your wife, your parents are. I know it's a whole family affair, but give us the short version so everybody can get to know you.
Well, Pastor, pastors. I'm glad to be on the show. Thank you for allowing us to be on the show tonight. But as you said, man, we've been in the community, serving the community for about over 30 years now. So I got into it at a young age, and I'm still young and still doing it. So we've been in the community now and serving. Like you said, you can come and get prayer, come and get help. And you can get psychoanalyzed by Kyle.
Correct. He'll put you on the couch and lay you down. Right. You get some pound cake and do come through with some cake, some lemon cake.
Right.
That's all at the shop.
All at the shop.
So when somebody moves into a new city, they look for three things.
Right.
They look for a decent neighborhood.
Right.
They look for a decent church.
Right.
They look for a decent barbershop.
Got to be a bomb barbershop.
Gotta be. The three first things they're looking for.
Now that's black people, because white people just go to best cuts.
right.
Super cuts.
Right. On special day.
$5
special.
Right. The Superman blanket.
Why is barbershop so important to the community?
Why?
We transform lives, man. We build confidence. We got something, unfortunately, that the church doesn't have. We get to work on your outside appearance. The church only gets to work on your inside.
You only get to work on the inside. You get to work on the outside.
Yes, sir. I'm liking that, Doc. I'm liking that.
It's a cultural thing that black people have ascribed to image. We hear image a lot, and we don't take in consideration how much black people love their image to be what they ideally want people to see. Right. So the barbershop, the beauty salon is exactly what they're looking for. Because
so Kyle, tell them what our slogan is. We're feeling good.
On the outside is looking good. We're feeling good on the inside means looking good on the outside. Came up with that slogan some years ago. Years ago.
Okay, I'm gonna steal that for a sermon next week. So you can hear that, yeah. I'm not giving you credit though.
No, that's all right.
But Pastor, if you look at it, like you said, you were joking with Pastor Jeff. You all were talking about your beard being gray and we could paint you and all that kind of stuff. But this world is nothing but a big masquerade ball anyway.
That's true.
And nobody's really showing who they really are anymore. You got so much weave, you got so much black, you got so much makeup, and
not to take any money out of the black barber or beautician. At the same time, they specialize in giving you exactly the look you're looking for. So that means adding color, adding weave. They're gonna do it. We don't celebrate. Right. We don't celebrate identity that is you. We celebrate the mask. That's not you.
Well, is it a mask, or is it them presenting their best selves and just using enhancement to get there? Because clothes could be a mask. I mean, you could walk around in potato sacks, but you choose to wear nice, stylish, fitting clothes. That's
what they want us to believe.
Right. Oh, but I could go to the budget side when I go get my glasses and get the old 80s bottle caps, but I want to get the nice thin frames, whatever's in style. So to me, even though I have my own personal limits, and I'm sure everybody else does, the services you guys offer, whether it's, hair, face, makeup, whatever, the salons that do the magic with our sisters, whether it's natural, whether it's the other type of process, it's all just enhancing. And one thing I love about black folks is we're just naturally beautiful anyway. If we took it all off, we'd still be bomb. We would still be bomb, period. Always have been bomb. Right. But we're also bomb at taking what God gave us and just taking it to whole other levels that everybody else tries to copy. Because everything that's going on in Ryan's shop, especially on the female side, sooner or later, it's going to cross over to other cultures and they're going to be trying to copy that look later, like they made it up. I just saw a commercial with some Caucasian ladies acting like do-rags and bonnets and stuff, like they just made them up yesterday. Like they just made head wraps and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Got this new style by Prada. It's like $3,500 for one. I'm like, you go down to Rose Beauty, go down to Sally's.
Today I was literally thinking about you today. I'm in a pulpit and they doing announcements, and they say every first Sunday every fourth Sunday is dress down Sunday. And I look, ain't nobody dressed down.
Nobody's dressed down.
Nobody, because the black church you're meant to dress. I don't care. You can call it dress down all you want.
Right.
I know there's some new age churches who are doing but still.
Oh, they had like lingerie Sunday.
Stop.
Even in the new age church, their jeans are like $200.
Oh yeah.
Right.
They're suit jackets and jeans, and so we trying to dress up.
Style isn't going anywhere. Style has been a part of our human culture for as long as we've had a culture to say it's considered human. That's not going anywhere. What we have to learn, especially in the Black community, especially in the Black barbershop, and then we'll go ahead, Black church.
Right.
It's not the style that we're concerned about, it's what fits. And what's happening today is we're looking at style and not size. And what we're doing is we're sizing up everything incorrectly. So if your show is incorrect, we're sizing up a lot of things that are incorrect. So women are wearing clothes that are either extremely too small, and men are wearing clothes that are extremely too small too. And we have to be extremely careful with the culture we're adapting to because of style and trend. It's not supposed to be that way. We're not supposed to go on ahead and say, I just want style, and don't size it up correctly, because what we have and what we create is a person that doesn't fit.
So that's that psychoanalyst right there, man. This cat, I should have brought a couch to the studio.
Now I'm ready to preach, because I think far too often, even in, like you said, in this area, we've allowed our culture to override our Christ.
Right.
Yeah. And so we can come to church any way we getting ready, how we feel. And, the Bible says, come as you are. No, bro, come as you are don't mean, come in here with a mini skirt on and,
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Sleazy Deacon says it absolutely does. The Sleazy Deacon said, I want all the ladies to come as they are. I want all of them.
I want all this.
I want to pray for them.
But Pastor, check this out, though. One thing that I've realized, unlike the church, where you say like cancel culture, well, you can't cancel the barbershop. You can stop coming, but the barbershop is still going to go on.
Unless your lineup ain't crisp, then you will get canceled. If you can't line somebody up, you'll get canceled.
That happens a lot.
But like you said, it's the what do you say? Club for the men. It's the
country club, the Black Man's Country Club.
Yeah. So people still have to come. People like we're doing tonight. We're streaming. Well, unfortunately, you can't stream your haircut. So you got to come. You got to go to a barber.
Y'all ain't figured out virtual cuts yet? You ain't figured out virtual cuts yet?
No.
Cuts?
It's a hologram cut.
You want me to do virtual church? Why aren't you doing virtual barbering yet, man? Shoot.
Wouldn't that be sweet? Hey,
man, it would be. But so check this out. Kyle and Ryan, you are certified church boys.
Yeah.
You raised in the church your whole life. Your parents. I love Elder Gilchrist. Love Elder and Mama Gilchrist. Please give them my love. I love them more than y'all, to be honest. I mean, I love them more than y'all. You know that, because they're my peoples. But what's it like being a church boy in the barbershop atmosphere that can bring all types? It brings all types. It attracts all types. You can have the deacons next to the dope boys. They all need cut, right? They all want services. They all, because we speak out. The Black Barbershop is one of the most honest places on the planet. It
definitely is.
It's one of the most honest places. If you have a chance, the privilege to sit in on a real conversation, I've been a part of them. I've been about to jump out the chair more than once in the middle of a cut. Ryan's cuts would take like an hour and a half with me, because we just going on and on and on. So what's it like being a church boy? You got your values, you got your morals, you got your beliefs, but you attract all types. What's that like? How do you deal with that?
And I tell you, it's tough, because we deal with like you say, a plethora of people that different. We got the man that comes in and he smells like skunk, and then we got the preacher that comes in that smells like Versace, and so it's you got to connect the two worlds. And
other women, they smell like other women too.
So here's the thing. I hate to think, and we play Christian music in the shop. Oh, yeah. My brother every day faithfully is going to play Commission and the Winans every day faithfully. He is stuck in 1980.
Yes, and I'm not changing.
And so I'm like, Kyle, they got new music out now. You know, they got Rashawn Mitchell and they got JJ
I don't know
Harrison,
none of them.
Who's going to be coming to your church
I don't know none of them.
soon. And I'm glad about that.
That's right.
But no, he's going to go back to where he was, where the Lord met him. So we have a policy. We're not church, but we can sneak church on you.
Oh yeah.
Well, and the idea definitely with that is to not isolate any one person. So the pastor needs just as much of the idea of the barbershop as the person who just got done screwing somebody else's wife. They need it too. So when you get them in the same,
do it.
And they need to look good. And now here you get them in the same room, whether you're in. Yeah, right. Here. That's the thing. You get them in the same room. Right. I don't know your issues outside of the barbershop. I have to be in tune enough to know, not just to know what you look like on the outside, but I've got to be in tune enough to know what's going on the inside. So here's something that I just recently took in. I can't play with you. So you might want to come in here and joke along, and that's fine. We laugh and we say some things we go far with some things. But there are some subjects that I can't play with you on. And when you want to go there, I have to be careful that I'm not signing a consent form for you to do whatever it was you were getting ready to do, and or you feel good about what you just got done doing.
Wow.
So the barbershop has a lot of facets that we have to be careful with, not just with beautifying your outside.
Wow.
Right. But then sometimes we get some pastors that are pastors such and such, and then they don't want to commingle or they want to be isolated.
Right.
And I get that, and I get that because you carry the Lord, you know. And but then I like the pastors that are like you. I like the pastors who are like you that can, you know, man, we got to be a light. We got to be a light. You know, and how are they going to see if they don't see you?
No,
so,
you like me coming in there arguing with Jeff Green for 2 hours. That's what you like. You like me coming in there arguing with the conservatives and the.
Now that's where you all came on talking about the election. That's a whole nother agenda that the barbershop we are to inform. We have to stay current. We have to know about every subject. We got to know about the church. We got to know about what's happening in sports. We have to know about what's happening in our industry,
our politics, our government.
Yeah. But what I gather today is we just had Mike Ruley at our shop last week.
Oh, we know your boy was there. We good.
It was wonderful to have him there because sometimes we have to speak to power. He is the senator right now, and he probably will get reelected to be. So we, you know, it's good that come see us. I want you here. If I, just like you said, hey, what can you do for us? So we're a part of that community too. So we need to speak to power, and any opportunity that we can, I'm open for it. Just like you. But at the same time, you know, it's amazing how many people don't vote under 40 and under that don't vote.
Right. But you know what you just said, politics, sports, religion, culture, community, all of those conversations happen at the barbershop. I can't think of one place where you can find all of that conversation. I mean, in depth from various perspectives, from educated to uneducated, you know, from young to old. I've watched it being sitting there. I mean, literally 20 somethings interacting with 70 and 80-year-old men and sharing those. I mean, it's an amazing, unique facet of our culture.
Absolutely.
And what you said about looking good and feeling good, the ties and the parallels between the Black Barbershop and the connections between the Black Barbershop and the Black church are so intertwined because there's two places everybody wants to get right for every single week. If it's the church crowd, it's church. If it's the club crowd, it's the club. And some folk go into both, right? So, like, if there's anything that you're going to have, because we've been there, you know, consistent, me and Ted, you know, on that Saturday appointment, we were on that because Sunday's coming. Sunday's coming.
And Saturday night too.
Canceled. Sunday can't get canceled, so we coming. And so you got a built-in audience. Right. Folk, they got to get right. And then don't let there be a concert or a special event. Homecomings, concert coming to town, some conference or convention. Right. In there getting right. And the funny thing is we all in there getting right, and we going to look at each other, like we got right later on, like 3 hours later.
But what's interesting? What's interesting is we have to shift the paradigm of our people because we're so event oriented. It doesn't matter until the event comes up, and we don't take our daily bread seriously, our daily prayer, our daily walk seriously. Sunday morning only sounds good when Saturday night I have to prep for it. If that's what you're doing. So I grew up in a house where prepping for Sunday morning started on Saturday. Right. And so my mother would be making Sunday dinner on Saturday evening. We would wake up to the smell of the food that we're going to eat after church in the morning. I wouldn't wake up to smell of bacon and eggs. I woke up to roast and
get the breakfast in Black House on Sunday.
No, that's not how it works. But we have to shift the paradigm. We have to get people to understand, not just for our own streams of income to increase, but you don't want to be that person that's always waiting for the event, because in that sense, you're never ready. Right.
And
I need you to be ready.
I'm glad you said that, because we live from event to event and from emergency to emergency. Right. And that's how a lot of Black people live, from event to event and from emergency to emergency.
Right.
But our thing is you got to stay ready so you won't have to get ready.
Exactly.
So now it's like this.
TD he don't agree with get ready. No.
Well, we got to get you ready. We got to get you ready. We do. We got to step you with that.
My boy out here looking like Diedrich Haddon. Hey,
when I first brought that curl to church, my asked me if I had a wig on. He said,
"How about cry?"
My secretary said, "Pastor."
Hey, it grew on us. It grew on us, though. It grew
on us.
Yeah. A little bit, but I kept when I say life changing,
it changed.
Life changing.
Ryan introduced me to a new way of looking at my hair, and I had been cutting my hair the same way since I was a child. Mm-hmm. And Ryan was the first person to say, "You should grow this out. You got, that fine hair or whatever, do this." Yeah. And I, brought it down a little more modest because I couldn't maintain it. I couldn't do this. Cat wanted me to sleep on a pillow, like in a neck brace. I'm like, how am I supposed to do it in the morning? You're like, man, you had to sleep sitting up, man, sleep on the couch.
Danger detergent.
One night.
Well, that was the worst. You got to remember now, I used to do Bishop Wagner, the Honorable Bishop Wagner's hair. And he would come 2 to 3 times a week because he understood the importance of staying ready. So he was the first one that I ever. And then on that hand, but then on the other hand, I had a drug dealer that would come in 2 to 3 times a week also, because he had another woman and another woman and another woman to be
ready for.
Wow.
Right.
So we get it all.
None of them could be rough.
So I had the unfortunate pleasure of not ever going to the barbershop.
Wow.
I was in the 5th grade and I wanted a haircut. My uncle said, "I can fade you up, bro. I can fade you up." It was so many patches in my hair. It was crazy. My stepfather came home and this is what he gave me in the 5th grade.
Wow.
Sheridan Elementary. I went to school in the 5th grade, and
I'm sorry for you.
It was horrible. Yeah, but the girl was like, "Oh, you look cute with a bald head." So I've had my bald head ever since. Ever since. I've never. So my first experience with the barbershop was actually watching Barbershop.
Wow.
Okay.
Watching the bar, because I never had to go. This take me 3 minutes in some magic shave or something. But so how close is the barbershop, the story?
Oh no. Yeah, it is close. But Pastor, let's go back to what Pastor Todd was saying. Kyle and I, we grew up in a holy church. I mean, in a holy household. No cussing, no drinking, none of that. No womanizing, none of that. And so now we have to cater to a whole culture of people that, like I said, you might come into my shop and you might get offended because if the guy that just came in, he smells like skunk, you might smell that when the door hits you.
Man, and so the skunk at, man, you keep talking about, because it sounds appetizing. The south side.
You don't want that skunk, Pastor. You don't want that skunk.
Outside skunk.
No, so I mean,
at the shop or something.
And I just really feel so bad sometimes, because if I have a Pastor Todd that comes in and I know what you represent, I know who you are. I don't want you to smell that, but and be offensive. I don't want you to be
my peoples, and you know it.
Oh, yeah,
my peoples. I ain't the one you need to worry about. Now them other archbishops you might need to worry about, but you know them my peoples.
But I tell you what, being an owner of a barbershop, it puts you in a conundrum almost, because just because I could cut hair didn't mean I could be a good owner of a shop or blend the two worlds together.
Wow. Okay.
You know, and so learning how to be all things, you know, and not compromise the God that's in me or in Kyle and us. You know, listen, I'm more lax than Kyle. I'm more liberal. Kyle's more stern. Like, hey, no, they're gonna hear commission today.
Oh yeah, hey, Kyle is commission Kyle.
Kyle, I actually sang "I'm Running Back to You" today, so I feel you, brother.
Thank you. I was listening to Save Me Now.
No. My son told me last week, Dad, you sound good. You got auto-tune or something?
I got to talk to Christian about that. I got to talk to Christian about that.
I'm running back to you, baby.
I don't know. The devil done got in Christian and taught him how to lie, because we got the. Okay, I want to switch gears, though. On the real, I want to switch gears. As a barbershop, a black barber, and you're prominent. Many barbers have come from you. Matter of fact, the brother I now go to, he gives you all the credit. You know, Andre came out of your shop, you know, worked in your shop for a while, and I go see him. And I go see him because he talks less. He just cut my hair and I can go home and I don't have to listen to Larry Reed and argue with 20 people. But no, for real. What are some things you wish people knew about being a black barber in the black community? Like, if you only knew this is the kind of struggle, like you think this is easy, or you think it's just like this. It could be scheduling. It could be, you know, the cost that goes into this. It could be the culture you have to deal with. What are some things that you wish the average person knew that you think they need to appreciate about being a black barbershop owner?
We could talk about that on many different layers, because one, like you said, scheduling. It's like the church. It's like a church. We become, Kyle and I become pastors to a whole group of people.
Personalities.
Different personalities. Scheduling, like you said, having to have people that have game, that try to say, no, I had this schedule, and we know that you didn't have this schedule, and things like
Just
that.
All a part of it.
Oh, it's so much.
You know what? First of all, I didn't know y'all had to go to school.
Oh,
I just thought y'all just cutting hair.
You didn't know they had to be licensed?
Yeah, I didn't know they had to be. Look, I had no idea.
So he was, so you weren't a part of that.
Idea. I'm like, they really go to school?
I'll tell you this too, and it's another. Well, I was going to say, I'm going to say it. It's another form of slavery. Early school for barbers is you open up a barber school. This is bad. This sounds bad, but you open up a barber school and you put kids on the floor and you say, "Cut hair for me."
Wow.
And you're there as the master barber. And you're there to correct their mistake if they have a mistake. But the schools need you.
If you care about the mistake.
You care about the mistake. Oh, that's good. So basically, the cycle of students basically represents free labor until they cycle out and new students cycle in. So while they're teaching and licensing you, they're also providing free or drastically reduced labor, because people going in there getting them $5 cuts, whatever. But these are like you said, it's essentially slavery. I mean, we call it training, we call it, barber boot camp.
It has to change. It to me, it has to change, and that's why I have Mike Ruley at my shop.
What would you change it to if you could?
Well, here I think one of the things that we need to address, because we seem to live in a culture that wants people to be entrepreneurs. You send the kids to school and they don't know anything about what it means to be an entrepreneur. You're sending them to school to have a skill taught to them. When they get out of school, they have no business ideas at all. They know money.
Whoops.
Oh, wow.
Told you.
He was flowing.
Too. We'll take him out and bring him back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Okay. All right. But yeah, I mean, so they don't know. They don't have that. They don't have the, like I said, just because you could cut hair does not mean you should own a shop. So in different states have different laws, of course. So I originally got my license because we're from Philadelphia. I originally got my barber's license from the state of Pennsylvania. State of Pennsylvania's laws are a little slightly different than Ohio's laws. And so you don't need as many hours. They have a program called apprenticeship, and where you can work under a licensed apprenticeship manager for a year to go towards your schooling, instead of just a whole school that you're paying thousands upon thousands of dollars, getting into student loan debt and all of that kind of stuff, to be a slave under another barber, master barber, or teacher, and you're making them, that school, that owner of that school, all of the money, and you're working for peanuts or nothing. You don't get paid. You're literally working for tips while you're in school. Wow. So it needs to be looked at differently. The state of Pennsylvania, I'm not saying I fully like them totally, but yeah, you get an opportunity. A man of your age, he says, hey, I want to start cutting hair. Well, he has a family. How's he going to provide for his family while he's in school? Well, that's why apprenticeship comes in, and you must work under a license. It allows you to have not just open up a shop right from school. Ohio, you get your 1,800 hours, and then you can open up a shop. Well, I don't think you should open up a shop just right away. I think that you should go under a bishop, under a pastor, get under something.
That church talk. There go that church talk.
I love it. It's crazy because you said I was at my barber, and he's looking for somebody. He's looking for somebody to come into the shop. And so I told him about a young man I know who's actually in what's the barber school? What's the school?
Yeah,
Raphael's. And so
he ain't no good.
So he ended up inquiring about him, and he found out that the young man, I can't remember what he called it, but he missed so many hours because he had to work.
Right.
He had to work to support his family. So he missed so many hours. So, now he has to come back or make up some time or something like that. But
it's a horrible cycle.
Yeah, it's a horrible cycle. Yeah.
Right. No, I love what you just said. I mean, because that's classic church talk, starting your own reformation of barbers, the divine barbers of the Pentecostal faith. Bishop Ryan Gilchrist.
Yeah. There you go.
Barber denomination.
The barbers of Youngstown.
There you go.
So the conversations about politics, sports, the atmosphere, it's off the chain. But again, my uncle, one of my dear sisters that knows my family real well, my great uncle Harrison, we called him Hunter. He had a legendary barbershop in Warren, not far from Second Baptist. The legendary barbershop, and a little bit of everything happened. I was too young to know what was going on. It was like slanging in the back, it's just all kinds of
right.
The old chessboard was up front.
Right.
But usually these conversations happen organically. People just get in there talking about, did you see the fight? Are you watching the game? Who's your team? Ryan, you're a little unique. You drive the conversation. And when one of us walk in the door, and there have been times when I just stopped by on my way from somewhere, and I'm like, let me stop by, and you are ready. I mean, you are on it. Like, Pastor, what you think about this? And he always starts off, he's slick with it. He starts off with, so what you think about this? And he knows which one of us are highly opinionated.
Yeah,
something to say.
Yes.
And he is like Youngstown's own Larry Reed, where he's like, well, allegedly.
let me tell you how I do this, Pastor.
Well, yeah, talk to us about your methodology, because you keep it going, man. You keep it going with the shop.
I mean, okay. Here's what I'll do. I'll tell you what I do every day. You know how the Bible talks about where is that in John, where he says he'll teach you how to fish, become fishers. Well, listen, I've never fished in my life. I think one time I went out fishing, caught one fish, and that was it. But I fish every day. And so all I do is throw out fillers. I throw out something, and I throw out the bait, and I see who catches. What's going to catch today?
You know how to bait.
Pardon me?
You know how to bait.
Oh yeah.
You know how to bait.
Oh yeah, but you have to. I want to hear what people are thinking. I want to hear what both sides. I'll tell you, Kyle and I, we are Gilchrist, and we are Republicans.
Yes.
Black Republicans.
The whole world knows. It's not a surprise to anyone.
Right.
Now that does not mean that we can't be bipartisan. That does not mean that we can't vote for a Democrat person. We're not that. But
in the primary, we're Republicans, and I think as we evolve as men of God that have to live in a world that we don't want to conform to, the evolution process is important so that we don't get stuck in one facet of life that we were supposed to stay in. Here we should have stayed in slavery. And so what we've done for generations is pass down a slavery mentality. Not that Republicans have, quote unquote, given us an idea of what freedom is. Never that. The Bible has given us an idea of what freedom is. The Holy Spirit has given us freedom, an idea of what living free in the Spirit is. But we have to evolve in the world we live in. And if we don't get stuck, we can reach the masses, and the masses again come through the barbershop. The masses here, and I there is no respective person, because it can't be, well, the pastor doesn't need to hear this today. Only the girl that came in with the little short skirt needs to hear this. No. The pastor needs to hear it too, because the pastor ain't always right. And so we have to make sure with correction, not because we're trying to not check. We want to correct. And it's not always us, because it could be someone like you, Pastor Todd, that comes through to the shop and you're correcting a train of thought that someone else needs to hear that isn't our elder. It could be someone older than you that needs to be said to them. But it happens all at the shop, and we have to evolve.
Well, I've had a lot to say. I've had a lot to say. Yeah.
And Kyle and I, we're tired of hearing the people that come in and say, just vote D down the line. No.
No, I agree with you. I agree. We agree with you. But some of y'all Republicans, some of y'all Republican friends, they want to go back to slavery. So I mean, they trying to turn you into the Ryan's chair plantation. So I mean, careful.
Well, I hope that's not the case. I hope that's not the case.
There really is hate on every side, and I think that we have to set our own agenda as Black people in general, and Black business, Black faith, Black community endeavors are a part of that. Like, how do we set our own agenda? And honestly, some of the best plans, some of the best conversation and brainstorming happens in those chairs when we're sitting there talking about the issues, talking about the character. And hey, there have been times where those of us who might lean a different way, and I've become more independent in thought, that we acknowledge, hey, the best idea is coming from that side. The best idea is coming from, I might not like the approach, like I said earlier, before we brought y'all on. I genuinely believe a lot more of us would have made the flip if that just uglier contention that just really holds a lot of Black people at arm's length. Like, if you still go into rallies and there's Confederate flags being waved, there's a segment of Black folk, no matter how sensible the speaker is, doesn't matter. Like that dog whistle, which is not really a dog whistle, it's more like a foghorn. That's just gonna basically mute out whatever is being said. And I almost wish that wasn't the case, because I think the reality of political positions have given us more reason to engage every side, but the realities of political ugliness have made it hard for us to hear each other. I think that's the problem.
One of the things that I shared with Mike Ruley as he came through and shared a little bit of time with us was, I'm really not interested in educated voters. I'm only concerned about informed citizens. The body of Christ is inundated with uninformed citizens. As a matter of fact, it's so bad. I hate to throw this out there because Trump kind of sort of coined this phrase. There's so much fake news out here in our Black community.
But most of it's coming from Ryan, though. I mean, that's the problem.
Wherever it's coming from. I hate to think that it's coming from anybody's church. You know,
it is. It's coming from
right over the pulpit.
It's coming through some pulpits.
Oh yeah,
yes.
You no doubt.
And so what we want to do is stop educate, because what you do with education is you train people to think a certain way.
Right.
And as we are, as men of God, we don't want to just train you how to be citizens of the kingdom of God. We want to inform you on how to act and behave in a world that has not prescribed to the kingdom of God. It's all about God's kingdom, and how do I get the reflection of him in heaven on earth?
I feel it. So Ryan,
so that's what my purpose is, to engage people, and then for us to live. I like a balanced life, straight across. You know, I don't want people to live like a graph. You know, and your house looks better than a whole lot better than your church, or your clothes look a whole lot better.
Lord.
And all your car is bigger than the sanctuary.
I get it. It.
So so what we have to do is, as people and as men of God and as owners of barbershops and Black owners and entrepreneurs, we have to teach people, the next generation, to, like you said, to vote, the next generation how to dress, the next generation how to stay ready, the next generation. It's sad. We're telling grown men that are older than us, you know, hey, this is where you should go. This is what you should do. And you gotta stay informed. You gotta stay on top of it. If we're not, then you got people looking silly.
Right. So
I got a few questions I gotta ask here. Go
ahead, Pastor Jeff.
If somebody comes in, like you talked about earlier, the people who just come, you know, get out of school. If they come in and, you know, it's just somebody who, you know, just got a job, but they don't got no clients, y'all actually give some clients away? Do y'all help them out, or
they get the walk-ins? They get the walk-ins and the bad kids. They get all the bad kids.
Right. Sit there and just like, you know,
they get the ones that got lice and stuff.
Hey, listen, real talk. Real talk is simple. If you fresh out of school, you're not going to do Pastor Todd's head. That's just the truth.
Praise the Lord.
You're not. That's just so don't get your hopes up on trying to do Kanye West's head when you fresh out of school. That's unrealistic. And sometimes you have to have that real talk conversation with someone that's fresh out of whatever their education has got them out of. You're not going into open heart surgery right away, dude. You got to sit back and watch.
I love it. And I appreciate that. And I think every preacher in the region appreciates that. We do not want any novices messing up. Because you know what? Once we messed up, man, it don't matter how great our sermon is, man. They just like, yo, dude is up there looking jacked. And he should have wore his little Pope cap today, because this ain't working.
Right, but that's where your maturity comes in, though, Pastor.
I got one. What happens when you have a barber on staff and what they're doing just ain't hitting? I mean, people walking out mad. They're not pleased. They went to school and everything, but they ain't got it. They ain't got it, and pretty soon people are avoiding them, don't want to go to them. How do you handle that? Because I had a cat like that in Warren. We would literally be like, "Nah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait." You know.
One day, and I'm gonna do this pretty soon. I'm gonna have Kyle and I. We're gonna sit down and go over a list of all of the stylists and barbers that came through my shop. And honestly, I know I've probably had at least 100 people working at that shop.
Wow.
I'm maybe 80, but I'm almost at that. And so many people have come through and worked at that shop. I know I'm past 50.
And we've had those experiences.
And we've had those experiences. And so even myself, I mean, I don't want to count and say I'm the best barber. No, I can cut hair, and if I see something, or I'll try to do my best, and that's where we got to stay. Do your best. Just do your best, and that's all we can do as preachers, as do your best. Try your hardest. You're
a loving man, Brian, and I know this because I've experienced this. You especially if you love somebody, you'll be like, "Hey, whoever you're going to is messing you up, man. I need you to come by. I need you to come by and let me take a look."
I will do that.
You will do that.
Here's another one. I've seen a lot of times where, especially on these videos, and I don't know how true they are, but a lot of times where females cut hair and they get a little too close. And, listen, right? How does that? Have you had females barbers in your shop?
Oh yeah. And you know what? Honestly, a lot of men, they like the.
I'm sure they do.
Put your hand down. Put your hand down. No. Put your hand down. Just wiggle your toe. Wiggle your toe.
Hey, when I was a young man, there was a beautiful young lady. She was my older brother's age, and she was cutting hair in Warren, man. And I was low key crushing, man. I mean, I was going like Bishop Wagner for a while, 2 to 3 times a week.
Listen, the truth is beauty. It comes in all shapes and forms. And I hate to throw this out there. In the world we live in, we have the woman who is a barber and she is heterosexual. You have the male who's a barber who happens to be gay, and it's interesting. It's an interesting dynamic to look at because, of course, freaking Deacon wants to make sure he has his female barber touch him.
Mm-hmm. Right.
At the same time, don't nobody really, if you're a heterosexual male, you're not really interested in a gay barber unless the gay barber is an actual good barber.
I feel
if he can cut your hair, you're cool with it. If he's not good at cutting your hair, again, this is the hard cold truth. If you're not good, you're not getting the business that you think you're supposed to have.
I feel it. Right. I feel it. Okay, so Ryan, I got another one.
Scott right there.
Oh, Scott, we got a question from a viewer. Oh. Who tips better? Saints or sinners? Sinners or saints? Who tips better? Sinners or saints?
That's a good one.
Don't know better. Y'all charge $30 for a haircut. Ain't nobody tipping no more.
They charge $50.
Yeah. That's a good one. Honestly, I'm gonna say the sinner. Sadly,
that's because they got that drug money, man. They be slanging. That's why. That's drug money. That's what it is.
I don't know what it is. They have a different concept of paying for what they like and then making sure they can keep it coming.
Right. No, I feel it, and I try to do it. Okay, I got one. We joke about the Beijing and the paint, and the filler and you know what, Ryan, I'm gonna say something to you because you tried a couple of times to say, Pastor, let me do something for you. You're getting gray. Let me do something.
Yeah,
for you.
I see all that gray on your side.
A lady stopped me, and you know what I get all the compliments for now is how my gray is coming in.
The gray,
man. Yeah. Man, the Cougars, man, I got to fight them off with a stick, man. I got to have Shamika intercede over me. But check this out. Here's my question, though. Do you have people who come in? Because we see some wild stuff on the internet. We see these cats looking like they just went straight magic marker on their face all around here. Do you get requests that you're just like, I'm not doing that?
Oh, absolutely.
You get requests. And what's some of the worst requests you've gotten?
Absolutely. Well, I do. I do man weave. So
man weaves.
Yeah.
Hey, Pastor, I can put hair on your head. I could give you a new style for your church Sunday.
Jeff wants a consultation.
He wants a man bun. My wife loves this right here, Doc.
But she can always take it off when she's ready. The dresser. So what is a man weave and how does it work?
Well, no, I mean now they have they're really called man units, and so you don't have to be bald. And really, I don't know if have you noticed that nobody wears the bozo? Nobody's doing that. Nobody wears bozo no more. Nobody's George Jefferson.
George Jefferson.
Oh, yeah. Nobody's doing that. No, you got to be a super
so
old.
Right. So either you're shaving your head bald or you're adding hair to your head.
Well, bald, when bald became, we got a pastor cutting up on here. Pastor Barney is cutting up. He said, first of all, I need one, and I know a few pastors. When bald came into the style, especially the bald with the beard, I mean, everybody started letting go that side hair and all that. I mean, that was over. Have you ever had somebody like furious with you over a cut or a style that they weren't satisfied with?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've been doing this.
I want to hear about this.
No, I've been doing this for so long, and I've had to correct my mistakes a lot. I mean, I've been doing this so long, but and as trends change, you'll realize like the Beijing. I promise. I have to be one of the first guys, and the guys that used to work at the shop that have their shops now in the city, one that you go to, all those guys, they came from my shop.
Right.
So, like I said, I'm from Philadelphia. I got my training and everything. Trends tend to go from east to west. So okay. East Coast, Philadelphia. I brought that Beijing to Ohio, to Youngstown, Ohio.
Okay.
Years ago.
Oh, we know the pictures you brought it to. Oh, we know the pictures you brought it to.
It's your fault.
I couldn't invite it to my church. They were staining up all the pews and the pulpit.
Well, I had to get them out of the Jerry curls that Warren was having. I had to get them out of them.
I was getting my stuff done. And I was getting it all blacked out or whatever it was. Then after a while, I stopped using it, but my all this gray all turned brown.
Oh yeah,
it looked dirty.
Is that natural, or did he have the Dollar General brand? What happened?
No. It's natural. I mean, listen. God is the greatest colorist in the world.
Right.
I mean, you can't color like natural. And so what you have is the natural thing. Your gray is silver. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be silver. It's supposed to be. And then what you're doing, putting that color on, you're transitioning your hair back to something that it doesn't want to be.
Wow.
So
that's a sermon. That's a sermon right there, Doc.
So here's another good one. What you got all these barbershop movies and all these guys coming in trying to sell stuff. Y'all got them?
All day. All day.
I love it. Listen, man, the barbershop is the place to be. You got
but I didn't got cakes and desserts and wing plates.
Right. I had one guy trying to sell me some cologne called Evergreen.
Evergreen.
What is Evergreen?
Evergreen? Well, at least it was called Evergreen because they got some other names, but you say what?
Yeah.
Right.
And here it's so bad at
drinks. He is selling his drinks up and down the coast. What's your boy?
Eve Bangers.
Yes.
Eve Bangers.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
I met him at the shop. Eric, right?
Yeah, yes. Eric.
Yeah, he started selling like alcoholic fruit drinks and stuff. We talk about that. We ain't giving no free advertising. He got to pay for. He got to pay for advertising on the
right.
But listen, your questions are so they're so on point, because generally what happens with us is once we've put in a full day of work, from having to deal with so many different personalities to serve, as well as having people come into the shop to try to sell us their services, you leave the shop drained. It's something like going to church for a pastor and ministering a message that is that impactful, that once you're done and you've done the best that you can do, as Ryan stated, do the best that you can do. It may not be perfect, but it's your best. You leave drained. And so parties, events, things like that after work aren't appealing, because I gave it all at the office. I have nothing left to give.
But I will say this, it did feel good to give you a new look and a new style, a new image. When I was able to do that for you,
everybody appreciates it. And you haven't lost me forever, man. I mean, there's always reunited and it feels so good, So,
I'll call you Tuesday, Pastor, get you on schedule. I'll call you Tuesday, get you on schedule.
Say hi. Okay, let me finish up. Scott asks, how do you deal with pushback to your price points? And I'm sure with inflation, we've watched prices go up. It used to be a $10 joint, and it was $15, and it was $20. How do you deal when somebody say, dang, that's what you charging?
I'll be honest with you. Fortunately for some, I haven't gone up like the other guys. My son lives in Tennessee. My oldest son lives in Tennessee. He pays $75 for him and his son to go get their haircut.
So both of them.
50 for him, 25 for a 5-year-old.
Right.
And so these prices today, and that's just for a haircut. Some guys, you go to shops and they got a la carte, like they're the Ruth Chris or the Mortons.
Not the Ruth Chris Barbershop.
Right. So I mean, you get your mustache done, that's a charge. You get your ears clipped, and that's a charge. I mean, so it really is getting ridiculous.
Do y'all take EBT? We got one of our viewers wants to know if you take EBT.
No, but we do know people that buy EBT.
Hey, you come down, you can meet him around back. Hey, I saw the wildest thing at Brian's barbershop one time because he's on the south side of Youngstown, so there's always something going on. We watched a police chase happen going up the side street, whatever the side street was, and the car was driving backwards the whole time, and he was getting away. He was like the world's best driver.
I'm sorry you were there that day. I am so sorry. Wow.
You need to be sorry for the day you made me come late just so I could be there when Trump's people showed up. Listen, let's tell this story before we go. Ryan purposely made it so that I would be there when was it, his daughter and son-in-law or something?
Yeah.
Yes, his daughter-in-law.
Lord, yeah. He was like, hey, Pastor, if you could come like at 4 instead of 3 or something like that.
Right.
I go in there. I'm in the chair. Not even 3 minutes later, your girl Tracy burst through the door with all these
Wimbush.
Tracy with all these cameras.
That is my cousin.
The Trump family. And then she wedged herself down between us. We're sitting there talking to us.
Yeah, what's the black girl's name that was there with us?
Omarosa was there.
Omarosa. Yes.
Omarosa from Youngstown, so
yes.
Don't she work around here now?
And Pastor looked like, I'm gonna get me in trouble. You gonna get me in trouble.
Listen, I kid y'all not. I was not at the church. I hadn't been at the church that long, and then we were on the news.
Yes.
One of my members called and said, if you hang out with them people again, you need to find you a new barbershop. They said, if you want to be our pastor, you need to find a new barbershop.
You see what association does?
But tell me, Pastor, what barbershop do you know that had stuff like that going on?
Only Ryan's Chair. Only Ryan's Chair. I give it to you.
Only Ryan's Chair.
Only Ryan's Chair can you get this kind of entertainment. That's why I can't stay away. I got to come by once in the blue moon and say hi. Now he has Larry Reed on repeat all day.
No.
Larry Reed is your bishop. He is your archbishop.
No. Not anymore. Not anymore. You only do things for a season. You only do things.
Right, Kevin Samuels is dead. God rest his soul. That's right. There you go.
Right. Hey, you got to start playing our clips.
Listen, you got to start playing our clips now, man.
So can people just stop by? Can people just stop by and just chill, just talk?
You know how many people that do that? You know how many people do it? It's the place to be.
I gotta start stopping by the barbershop.
I mean, it's entertaining, man.
I'm always at the coffee grounds right across the street from y'all.
Well, here's
what I do. Okay. You know, I cut his hair.
Do you? Okay.
Here's what I do now when I want to stop by Ryan's. When I'm in Youngstown for business, I want to stop by. First, I go in the parking lot and I tarry for a while. And I concentrate myself.
Right.
Then I take some blood pressure pills. Right. And you know, I've become a very mature person. You'd be surprised. I'm a lot better than I used to be. But Ryan was good, man. He knew where the button was. That joint.
Hey, Pastor, one of the last times you were there, I didn't think you would ever come back. I said, "Oh my goodness,
man! We believe in reconciliation."
I know. I know my boy. What's his name? Well, I see why he go over there. But what's his name from Jerusalem?
Oh, Derek.
I know Derek.
Dude.
Yeah, I know Derek.
That's his GOP partner in crime. They are the black delegation of the GOP.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Not the GOD.
Right, that's the GOP. Derek's my dude too. We love Pastor Anderson. Well, y'all have been entertaining and fun and informative.
I absolutely love this show.
I'm glad you brought Kyle along, man, because Kyle, man, I just went to text Kyle to fix the little tech issue, and I read one of his 9,000-page letters that he be texting people about he be prophesying, writing whole history books, anthropology.
I tell him shorten it up, man. He's so deep. He's so deep.
I like Kyle got it going on.
No. I'm telling you, man. You would be surprised how many people just come just to talk to him. I mean, it's like we need to have counseling.
You are right. You were right at the beginning. He is the Moses.
He's the Moses in every way. Mm-hmm. Kyle, I gotta ask you before we go, how you feel about Fred leaving commission?
It hurt, but I love Fred, so I'm still listening.
Yeah, it hurt. Okay. It hurt. I'll just listen to old stuff.
That's all I listen to.
See, you only heard that through Larry Reed.
Wait, are you guilty, Pastor? Are you?
No, I follow Fred's Instagram. Thank you very much.
Got you. All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I don't follow Larry Reed. But listen, it's been a pleasure having y'all on. We thank y'all so much for being on.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sooner or later, we might have to do a live pop in from the shop.
Yeah, from the shop.
That would be great.
Camera and do a live pop in from the shop and just cut up.
I'll call you Tuesday. Get you in the schedule. Call you Tuesday.
Hey, we love you all. Thank you so much. Wonderful
you
show.
Got it. Big Mike, you want to say anything? Big Mike always pops in. Hey, we appreciate everybody who watched us. The Steelers are still losing, but I feel a comeback in my bones and my spirit. The Lord spoke to me.
Prophet line. Prophet line in the name of Bengals, Jesus.
I mean, the Dolphins are already punting back to us. So
y'all going to let a guy that had a concussion beat y'all?
Man, listen, we had our own concussions too, man, but he might have got back up with superpowers, so we don't know.
Right.
He might have got prayed for. But hey, we appreciate everybody watching. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Keep spreading the word. Sunday night service is the place to be. We got some big guests coming up. Hey, and don't forget, I'm doing a free plug because it's our show, Night of Hope, November 11th. Free concert. You ain't even got to buy tickets because we just got it like that. Second Baptist is the place to be. And we checked out Max Market today, little market on the west side.
I went there. It was nice. It was nice.
We just doing that Jamal Bryant stuff now. We just go in stores and buy everything up as a church to show that we got that black business, black church power. I just love doing it. It made me feel good, man. It made me feel good.
Ooh-wee.
I like it. I like it.
But hey, y'all keep tuning in every Sunday night, 8:00. We'll look forward to seeing y'all next time. Until next time, y'all stay on for a second. We're going to do our outro. Peace in the Middle East.